Have you always wanted to have a home of your own? Are you currently renting and dream of home ownership one day? You're tired of paying your landlord money that seems to be going down the drain. And you might have noticed some rent-to-own programs in the newspaper or online and thought, maybe I should do that. I'm Stephen Cruz, mortgage broker with Paragon Mortgages and mymortgagebroker.com. And today I want to talk about that. I'm in this condo that is currently for rent. And I thought talking about rent to own is the perfect thing. First thing, let's talk about why you might want to consider that. There's probably three reasons. First reason is you've got problems with your credit. Something's going on, you need to fix it, and so you don't qualify right now, and maybe rent to own is the solution you want to think of. Your next reason is that you don't have the down payment. Many people haven't been able to save the down payment. It's not the easiest thing to do, and so building up that savings, maybe a rent to own program is the way to do that. And third, maybe your income's not consistent or the banks don't accept your income, and so you wanted to figure out or sort your income out for a little bit so that you have income that the banks will in fact qualify you for, and then you'll qualify for a mortgage. So let's talk a little bit about that. But let's talk about the advantages first of all of rent to own and the disadvantages of rent to own. So one of the advantages is you've got your own place. Even though it's a rental place, you've got a contract that one day you're going to buy it. You generally, with rent-to-own programs, you pre-purchase. So you write a contract to buy the house at a certain amount of money. So a predetermined price at a predetermined time. Usually that's 2 or 3 years down the road. So you're getting a potential increase in value if you are determining the price today. So if the house prices go up more, then you could take advantage of that, which is very encouraging. Maybe you fix the house up or whatever during the time. Let's talk about that, fixing the house up. So a lot of people who rent to own, they think, oh, well, I can fix the place up. I can paint it. It's mine. But really, is that an advantage for you? It's actually an advantage for the landlord. The current owner loves it when you take care of the house. They don't have to go and fix it. They don't have to go and pay for stuff. And so that's actually an advantage for them, not necessarily for you. And maintaining the house, and if you have this thought that you're going to be the owner, you're going to maintain it more and you're going to take care of it. You're going to be better to it. And again, whose advantage is that? Yours or the current owners? It's actually the current owners. So having a rent to own, there's really only one advantage in my eyes, is the potential upside. And sometimes I've seen people get into contracts where they're already guessing that the price is going to go up in time, and therefore they're kind of taking away that option as well. So what are the disadvantages of rent to own? First of all, if you're doing it for a down payment, most rent to own programs will ask you for more than the damage deposit. So they're going to ask you for not just 1 month's rent, but maybe 2 or 3 months rent. And if you can't pay that, they'll ask you to make monthly payments over the time frame to cover the cost. So you're putting your down payment in someone else's hands. So that's a real disadvantage, because you're losing control of your money. And once someone else is holding on to your money, they don't want to give it up. The higher payments, by paying rent and paying monthly payments, you're actually paying higher payments than you would be paying if you just saved the money on your own and found a rental place that was less expensive. In fact, when people usually buy and move up, so they rent in a smaller place and then move into a bigger place. So when you move into a bigger place, you're paying bigger rent payments for it, and market rent typically is what people pay in rental places. Plus, you're paying that extra deposit. So you're paying a lot more than you would necessarily be if you just found a little place to rent until you're ready to move, and then you move into your dream house or your next house, and then you can start building the equity in that then. And the other thing is you could lose money. So you could, if you don't meet the conditions when it's time to purchase, you could lose all that money you gave. So you would have paid rent on a more expensive house than you would normally rent for if you didn't think it was your own, and you're going to potentially lose that deposit depending on the contract, if you can't qualify. So the thing that's really important is to know exactly that you're going to qualify in the future. So you're putting a lot of eggs in one basket, you're taking a lot of risk for a potential upside. So let's look at the issues you might have now and see how you can fix those. So down payment, I wouldn't say if you don't have the down payment, don't rent to own. Don't do it. Giving someone else control of your money is not worth it. If you want to do that and build your down payment, then build your down payment. This last little while we've gone through the pandemic and all of us have cut back our expenses. We're going out less, eating out less. And so we can really see how much frivolous money we're spending if we look over this time and see how much money we could potentially save if we're living on our income and then putting some extra money away. And so I think you should take control of your finances and build up your own savings. Use a tax-free savings account or an RSP if you're a first-time home buyer. Use one of those things to save your money instead of giving it to some landlord who may or may not give it back and who you could lose the money from. So tax-free savings account, don't put in something risky. Don't put it in a stock or mutual funds or something that's going to go down in value. We saw the stock market tumble by 20, 30, sometimes 40% this last little while. So you don't want to put it in something high risk like that. Put it in cash, put it like a term deposit GIC. If you've got problems with your credit, then it's important to fix it. Don't rely on some end date to push you to fix your credit. Fix it now. You go get a credit report. I have the link in the description below that you can go and pull your own credit report and take a look at it and see what the problems are and fix those. Fix those problems. If there's collections, then you don't pay the collection company. They would hate me telling you this. You pay the company that had the original bill. Go back and pay them. Pay them back the money you owe them, or negotiate with them and pay them a settlement. Don't pay the collection company, because a collection company will never remove that collection if you pay it. But if you pay the creditor and pay them their money or settle with them, then they're going to have the collection agency cancel it. And if it's been on there a very long time, maybe it's better just to leave it alone. So look at your credit, see what's best for you and what's important to do. Never sign a rent-to-own contract where you have problems with your credit, because if you can't fix your credit in the time frame that it takes for you to move in, then you're not going to qualify and you're going to lose all your money and you're going to pay money for nothing. So don't do it. Don't do it. I can't emphasize enough. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. You might have guessed, I don't like rent-to-own contracts. I think they favor the owner, they favor the landlord. Great if you're the landlord, if you want someone to do it, but for a tenant, for someone buying the house on a rent-to-own, it's not a good idea. Just not a good idea. If you have problems with your income, so let's say you're self-employed or your commission and a lot of your income is commission-based or self-employed based and you're not showing a ton of income, then it's more difficult to qualify for a traditional mortgage with 5% down. There are still mortgages available. There's stated income mortgages that we can set up for you. But maybe you just sacrifice and pay yourself more income for 2 years and then you buy in 2 years. Whether you're doing it on your own now just to buy a place in 2 years, or even if you chose to do a rent-to-own contract, which I do not recommend, if you have to show income eventually, you'll have to qualify for the mortgage. So show your income and then qualify for what it is you need to qualify for. Build up your savings, put your financial house in order. And if you do that, you're going to be able to buy a house and not spend a bunch of money given to a landlord for a more expensive place, or building up a savings account in someone else's control that you just don't have access to, or you can't just say, oh, I've decided not to do this. Oh, I've been transferred to another city. I need my money back. That's going to be tough, and they're not going to do it. So rent-to-own contracts are not good for you, the buyer. Not a good idea. What I've noticed is that 90% of the time, if you rent a property, it's cheaper than if you own. Whereas a rent-to-own contract is typically more expensive. The landlord loves it when they have a rent-to-own contract because the tenant's taking care of the house, they're painting and making it look nice, they're fixing things up without bugging them and calling them. And if they break the contract, woohoo, the landlord has a windfall of cash. Like win, win, win for the landlord, not for you, the tenant. Don't do it. Renting sucks, and I get it. I understand it sucks to rent and you feel like you're giving your money away. But if the house markets don't go up and the house prices stay the same, you're not losing out whatsoever. Building up and creating a good financial plan for yourself, organizing your finances so that you're building up some savings, some reserve, and a down payment is fantastic, good habits to create now, and will get you into the house of your dreams and you to be successful in the future. So don't. If I said rent to own is the worst possible thing you could do, I feel strongly about it. But fix your financial situation. Don't give the landlord control over your money. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm Stephen Cruz, mortgage broker with Paragon Mortgages and mymortgagebroker.com. If you enjoyed and you like the information I give on my channel, then please smash that like button down below, and I'll give you a little bit of view of this condo that is currently for rent in downtown Calgary. It's got a really nice view of downtown. Let me just walk out here, and you can see the river and some of the other places, and downtown. I like the river view. So I'm Stephen Cruz, mortgage broker with Paragon Mortgages. Please, if you have any questions, contact me from my link below, or I can answer your questions in the link in the description. Thank you, and until next time, have a great day.